All right, so chair yoga today. There's like a lot of illnesses going around. So I'm gonna do a little bit of like some immune stuff. We'll tap some acupressure points up here, the lung and the kidney points, and we'll do some breathing exercises. So if you could have today just a couple of props or just maybe one or the other of them. I have today a block and I have a pillow. So you can use them interchangeably, but if you only have one, then just use whatever you have. You can even use like a rolled up towel or blanket. We're going to be doing a back bend and we're going to use that for support. We're going to be doing a forward bend and we're going to use it for support, like around the diaphragm. So, and we'll also be doing stuff with a block or pillow between the thighs. Okay, so if you want to gather those up, and we're going to get started just sitting and breathing. So we'll start with feet on the ground, sit bones grounded into the chair, and we'll close those eyes down. And we're just going to start with your normal breath, whatever that is for you. And you're welcome to put your hands like one on your chest, one on your belly, maybe at the lower rib cage. Another place you could also check your breath is you just take your index finger and place it right underneath the nostrils. And just making sure your breath is coming in and out of your nose. If you're stuffy and you can't breathe out of your nose, and obviously you're gonna have to breathe out of your mouth, but preferably if you can breathe out of your nose, that's the preferred breath pattern. And we're gonna start there, just awareness of breath. So just noticing little things like, is your breath like really long and deep? Is it short? Is it shallow? Is it variable? Do you feel it more up at the chest or at the rib cage or even down to the belly? So we're just doing all this just to be curious, not any sort of judgment here. And then just become aware of your posture, right? Because posture counts when we're breathing, especially because when we're more in this forward rounded position, it actually kind of puts a little kink in the hose, right? We want to make sure that we have a nice open channel from the nostrils all the way down into the lungs. And if you still have your finger under your nose, go ahead and just place your hands maybe at the like the mid rib, lower rib area. Like if you find the place where your ribs kind of split, then maybe put the fingers like right there. It'll be just above your belly button. And here, the heel of your hands can be resting on the ribs, and the fingers will be in that soft tissue. And you want to feel two things happening. One, I want you to feel your ribs gently widening and the belly gently rising. And if that's not happening for you, then just go ahead and place one hand on your chest, and we're going to just experience to see if they can get that breath to move down. So just slowing down the breathing, relaxing the shoulders. When we're more in our chest breathing, sometimes we're more anxious or could be like, stressed about something. So as you deepen the breath, we allow ourselves to relax and let the nervous system kind of deregulate. So we're not in that we're not in the sympathetic, we're more in that parasympathetic state, or we're relaxed, so we can rest and digest. So because we are working on the immune system today, we really want to be in that relaxed state, because stress is one of the reasons why we do get sick and where our immune system does get depleted. It's one of the biggest contributing factors. And, sometimes we think it's like other stuff, but really it's the stress. And stress can show up in different ways too. So it doesn't always have to be like bad stress. It can be good stress too. And then just take a moment to check in with yourself physically, top of the head, work your way down to your toes. Anything that shows up. Sensations, discomfort. Does my body feel good today? Do I have energy? Do I feel depleted? Am I tired? Okay, 2 more breaths here. Okay, and then we're gonna join our palms together and you're gonna place your thumb knuckles at the heart space and your chin will nod towards your chest. We're gonna start with an intention for your practice today. So setting whatever you want to work on, strengthening the immune system, relaxing, letting go of stress. So whatever it is. Okay, and then once you've set your intention, we're gonna let it go. So you're gonna extend those arms away from the heart and just imagine that intention floating out into the universe. Arms come all the way down. Because we're going to be working a lot in this area today, like all over in the chest, we're going to work to open this area up a little bit, including the arms today, arms all the way down to the fingers. So we'll start out, arms are going to relax, give them a little shake out. And then we're going to do rotation of the arms. So if you can just imagine you have a doorknob that you're twisting, we're going to turn the doorknob open and then closed. And you're going to try to do, one arm will be, go in a different direction. Let's go through opposite sides, but just rotate them forward, rotate them back. And you can feel this like right around the front of the shoulder, collarbones, and then your chest and sternum. And then in the back, you're going to feel it on the back of the shoulders, like the rear delts, maybe into the shoulder blades a little bit. And we're still going to keep that nice tall position of our spine as we're doing this arm bone rotation. So the only thing that's moving is the arms. And we're breathing, and you can add breath to this if you want to. You can inhale as you open and exhale as you close. We'll do 2 more. And then 1 more. And then just relax those arms down. We'll do our tapping next. So we're going to do 2 points today. One is going to be pretty much in the front of the shoulder. So if you can find your collarbone all the way out close to the shoulder, and then just drop underneath of it, there'll be like a hollow spot there. That's going to be lung number 1. There's one on each side here. And then the second point is going to be if you trace your collarbone all the way closer towards your throat, and this will be a kind of where the bone kind of ends. There's a little notch there. And then just underneath there is going to be the kidney 27. So we're going to tap on both of these. So let's start with the lung points, and you can just take your fingertips and just gently tap there on that spot. And we're going to take about 4 breaths while we're tapping. In through the nose, out through the nose. You can close your eyes here if you want. And then we're going to stay and we're just going to just kind of press in a little bit. You can hold it or you can circle in those spots. And noticing if it feels tender or sore, right? And if it does, then do this a few more times today, okay? Because we want to make sure we stay really healthy. Now we're going to walk our fingers in, again, closer towards the throat, just underneath the collarbone, and that will be your kidney 27. And we'll start with tapping lightly, 4 breaths. And then pressing in, you can either hold or circle. And if you're circling, just go both ways. And again, just noticing if it feels tender or sore. Okay, and then we're just gonna shake out those hands. Okay, and now we're gonna take a big breath in. I want you to imagine like when your arms are moving and the arms are attached to the lungs. So we're gonna use that to help expand the breath as we take the arms out. So we're gonna breathe in, take the arms all the way up. And as you finish that inhalation and then you exhale, we're gonna push the breath out as the arms are coming down. Do this 3 more times. Big breath in, fill up the lungs. And then exhale all the breath out. I want you to keep pushing the breath out until you feel like you're empty of air. And then you can fill up even more. And then exhale, push all the breath out. Beautiful. Relax the arms. Return to your normal breathing. All right, we're going to be moving the arms again. So we're going to bring the arms out in front. Palms are going to be facing towards each other, and then you're going to bend your elbows. So we're going to take the elbows together, and then you're going to lift up your right elbow, and we're going to place it on top of the left elbow, like this. So we're crossing the arms. And then you can hold on to your opposite shoulders. You can also hook your thumbs together or bring your palms together. So whatever's available to you. And this is the eagle arm. So we're just going to focus on breathing into this upper back area. I'm going to have you move like a little bit into extension and flexion while we're doing this too. So whatever position you have your arms in, we're just going to focus on the breath. So we're going to inhale. And as you inhale, just slightly lift the chest and the elbows. And then as you exhale, you're going to just round the spine. You're going to draw the elbows down, chin to chest. And it can just be a really tiny movement. It doesn't have to be anything big, just focusing on the upper back, extension, and then flexion as you exhale. Good, we're gonna do 2 more. And then 1 more breath, inhaling. And then exhaling, rounding forward. And then we're going to come back to neutral. We're going to unwind, release the arms. We're going to take that breath in again. Inhale. And then exhale. I want you to just gently shake out the arms, hands and fingers all the way down. And just feel that blood flow going back into the fingertips. Okay, so that kind of like was a tourniquet, right? It cuts off that blood supply into the arms. And then you should feel like a little bit more, you might feel tingling sensations going down the arm as the blood flows back all the way into the fingers. All right, last breath here. And then we're going to bring the arms out in front. We'll do the other side. Bending the elbows, bring them together. This time, left elbow is going to sit on top of the right elbow crease. And any variation here, holding shoulders, hooking your thumbs together, or drawing the palms together. So whatever's available to you. And then we're going to do that same thing again. We're going to lift the elbows, slightly lift the chest as you inhale, and then exhale, draw the elbows down and round the spine. So imagine that, pushing that breath out and then inviting in some deeper breaths as you lift here. Two more breaths. And as you're exhaling, just imagine you're just sending out anything that your body doesn't need anymore. So think about like toxins or viruses. So your last one as you exhale. And then inhale, come back to neutral. We're going to unwind. We're going to take those arms up, fill up with breath. And then as you exhale, just gently shake out those arms, hands, and fingers all the way down. Okay, let's do a couple of side bends. Well, we're going to take our arms in a different position, right? So we're going to take our arms up first, and then I'm going to have you hold on to opposite forearms. And we're going to just hold this position. If this is not comfortable for your arms in any way, you can just have your arms down by your side and do your side bends. But we're resting the forearms on the very top of your head, so the crown of the head. And we're going to breathe in, and then we're going to exhale. We're going to side bend each direction. So just take your time, just allow yourself to just go as far as you can. Keep those feet anchored to the floor the whole time. And then you'll inhale to straighten up your spine, and then exhale going the other way. And we're going to do this 3 more on each side. So you're going to use your inhale, come back to center, and exhale. Filling up with breath, and then letting that breath go. And then just noticing sensations on your side ribs. And last one. And then we'll straighten up the spine, stretch your arms straight up, and then exhale, push the breath out. Arms coming down. Okay, grab your pillow if you have it, or you can use a rolled up towel. And if you don't have those, you can also use a block. It's a little bit more, but we're going to place this pillow. So before we do that, let's just rest that on your thighs for a second. And I want you to just trace your fingers along the bottom edge of your rib cage. We'll do this a few times. So starting in the center, and you can push in as much as your body allows you to do it, and push in, go all the way down to your waist, and then do that a couple more times. So this is where our diaphragm attaches. We're gonna do some diaphragmatic breathing, and this is just to kind of like open things up a little bit, just bring awareness, proprioception to where our diaphragm is. Our respiratory diaphragm is very important in everything that we do, but obviously if we're breathing, we have to breathe to be alive, right? And yeah, I could have an entire class on the diaphragm. I've done it before. Okay, so now we're gonna think about when we bring this pillow in, I want you to kind of tuck it underneath of those ribs. Okay, so you're gonna pull it right up against them. And then I want you to just take your body and just drape over top of it. So you're feeling that pressure there on the diaphragm. And if you can, just bring your arms in front to kind of hold that pillow in place. And then we're just gonna stay in this position. And I want you to use the pillow as a place to really expand your belly. Okay, so you're gonna breathe in through the nose and then breathe out through the nose all the way out. So maybe a 6 to 8 count exhalation here. So let's do about a 5 or 6 count inhale. And then a longer exhale. Four more breaths. And the breath is the key. We really want to open up our lungs. We want to send out anything that's stuck in there, in the cells, in your tissues. Take one more breath in. And then you're going to fully exhale that breath out. Once your breath is out, use your inhale to come back up slowly. And just rest here, sit up tall. You can close your eyes, just take a few breaths. I want you to just notice how you're feeling. Okay, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take this pillow and we're gonna bring it behind this upper back area. So you're gonna put it just like at the shoulder blades. So up a little higher, right? Get it up there, you have the chair behind you and kind of lean back into it. So if your lower back is not gonna have that pillow, it's gonna be above that. And then you're gonna let your arms come down. You can reach and hold on anywhere on the chair, the bottom of it, the legs of it. And we're gonna push back into the pillow. And I want you to think about expansion here, right? So across your upper chest and down to the place where your diaphragm is, like at the rib cage. Okay, that's what we're focusing here. All this space opening up. Arms are gonna be just holding on. And you can allow your head to just drop slightly back, but I don't want you to do this, right? So keeping that nice openness in the throat, but you don't wanna take your head back. So we're just gonna close the eyes here, and again, we're gonna go back to the breathing and focus on expansion and opening all across this area where the lung points are and the kidney points, all of these like little acupressure points that come and connect into our chest. And then the area around the sternum, obviously the ribs where your lungs are, and then the diaphragm. Again, about 5 or 6 count inhale, a longer exhale for you. So maybe it could be 6 to 8 counts on the out breath. And I'm sure you're aware, and you might even experience it yourself, but there is a lot of stuff going around right now. We've got the flu, there's COVID, and there's a stomach bug too floating around. So let's keep ourselves healthy here. This is what this practice is about today. And of course, staying out of busy places, crowds, that kind of thing is going to help. And then, some people feel strongly about not wearing a mask, but maybe that wouldn't be a bad idea if you're going to be out in a crowded public space. And then, like your mom always told you, wash your hands. Seems simple, but yeah, you have to always remember before you're going to touch your food, please, or touch your face even, just wash your hands. Okay, last breath here. And then as you come up, we're gonna come up slow. And then you're gonna take your pillow out or your block out from underneath, and again, sitting up tall. And then just experiencing this whole space here. We're gonna do a seated cat and cow next. We're gonna take this pillow and I'm gonna have you put it between your thighs. So I did it on the wide side, not the narrow side. So try it, if you have a block, you can do it either one. Pillow, you want to squish it a little bit like this. And then we're gonna do cat and cow. So I want you to take, on your in breath, I want you to just relax the grip of the pillow, and we're gonna lift the chest. And on your exhale, we're gonna squeeze the pillow, exhale, draw in those abdominals, right? Round a little bit all the way up through the head. And then relaxing the grip on the pillow and inhale. All the way down. I want you to feel this deep breath here, right? So you would feel it all the way down into your pelvis if you can. And then exhale, squeeze all that breath out, giving a little hug to the pillow with your inner thighs, rounding the spine. And just noticing movement here after we did this opening, especially in the upper back and chest. And we'll do one more in breath. And then one more out breath. And then we're gonna sit up nice and tall. So while we have the pillow here, let's just do a couple of inner thigh squeezes. So we're gonna squeeze on your exhale, relax on the inhale. We're gonna do 10 of these shorter breaths, so maybe a 3 to 4 count this time. Squeeze on the exhale, relax on the inhale. So just keep going here. Sit up tall, feel your sit bones on the chair. You can close your eyes if that feels better for you to really kind of check in with yourself. Two more. Okay, and now I'm gonna have you just put that pillow on the floor, bring it between your ankles, give it a little hug, right? Block either one. So now we're gonna take our arms out in front. I'm gonna join your palms together. And then we're gonna come into a forward fold. So I want you to nod your chin to your chest. Your arms are gonna go between your inner thighs, rolling down, and then just reach your fingertips towards your pillow or block, and just keep coming down as far as you like. And then when you get there, you're gonna release the hands and just kind of press your fingers or palms into the block or into the pillow. And I want you to breathe into your upper back here. So trying to create some space between the shoulder blades. So we're gonna take a nice breath in. Exhale, maybe pushing down just a little bit more. Trying to reach those arms towards the floor. And then pushing up into that upper back area. Let's do 3 more. Nice full breaths in and out of the nose. And we're just trying to release stuck energy here in the back part of your heart, right? A lot of stuff gets stuck here. Shoulder stuff, pain in the upper back. Okay, one more in breath, really open up that space. And then as you come up, we're gonna join those palms together, and then you're gonna come up really slow. Keep the chin into your chest. And we're coming up slow because we're trying to give a chance for our blood to regulate and we don't get dizzy. And then we're gonna bring our arms back in front. And then release the arms all the way down. Okay, you can just take that pillow, set it off to the side for now. And now we're gonna widen out our legs. And we're gonna scooch a little bit further on the chair. We're gonna go into some twists, right? So we're just gonna really keep bringing out this full space here. Hands are gonna be on your thighs, fingers kind of towards the inner thighs, heel of your hands on the top of your thighs. We're gonna inhale, lengthen through the crown. And then as you exhale, we're gonna hinge about 1/4 of the way. We're gonna stay in this hinged position, and then we're gonna twist from here. So you're gonna use your exhalation, pushing into the thighs with your hands. Let's go ahead and rotate. And I want you to look over the shoulder, just go as far as you can. So that left shoulder comes to midline, you're looking over that right shoulder. And then as you inhale and you come back to center, don't sit up tall, stay in that hinged over position, but keep that spine straight. So we don't want to round here. We want to really open everything up. And then as you exhale, keep pressing into your thighs. So we're trying to keep the thighs wide as we turn, right? And just keep those eyes moving back. Use your inhale to come back to center and then repeat. Exhale. And use your in-breath to come back to center and exhale other side. Let's go one more each way. And then inhale, come back to center, push down into your thighs, straighten up your spine, keep your legs apart. Put your hands on your outer thighs, and we're going to go ahead and lift up the heels, and I want you to push out into your hands with your thighs, and we're going to hold this, and we're going to breathe, and you're going to feel a little bit of, perhaps a little shaking and quaking, but just let's breathe into that. And then remember to keep that spine straight, abdominals are engaged, base relaxed, and we're just doing some breathing and just creating this isometric contraction between your hands and your outer thighs. Okay, keep the pressure going, but lower the heels down. Take another breath, and then release, and then we'll tap our feet together. We're gonna do a figure 4 stretch because we're gonna stretch out the hips. We're literally gonna go into that full eagle pose today. So we did this part already. The second part is adding in the legs. That's why I'm working on those inner and outer thighs, because we'll have our legs crossed like this and our arms crossed like this, and that'll be our eagle pose. And that's where we're gonna go today. So let's go ahead and just work on that figure 4 stretch. So just reaching down, interlace your fingers and lifting up the right leg. All right, sit up tall, and we're gonna take that leg out and in, out and in. Now, if you can't get your leg, your ankle to be up on the opposite thigh, you can use your pillow or your block for support for your foot, right? But if you're able to get it up and over there, go ahead and land it. So we're just gonna be working on this opening of this outer hip and glute, right? So we can able to get into that full eagle position. So we're gonna sit tall. We're gonna start out just doing a couple of torso circles each way. So we're feeling the sit bones on the chair, right? Noticing sensations in the hip, and close your eyes, right? So just going inside, just feeling and noticing. And then if you're circling, go the other direction. Just being curious. And then pausing with your spine straight up and down, and then we're going to come forward, hinging from your hips. So we're not rounding, we're keeping that again, that nice straight spine, just coming forward any amount, just until you reach that point of stretch or sensation. And then you're going to come into the breath, breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. And just to close the eyes, just to stay not distracted by surroundings, and zooming in around your hip. So lots of muscles around there supporting it. Any of those muscles can be tight. Any of those muscles can also create pain. There can also be nerve pain here. So I want you to be really, inside, aware what's going on. If you feel anything sharp, then just please come out, right? Because sometimes we just irritated a nerve. There's lots of nerves in our pelvis. And specifically here, this one might be, you might feel it'll be the sciatic nerve, or even the obturator nerve, which is kind of like down there too. So there's a lot of nerves, like 4 of them, I think, that run through. Okay, 2 more breaths. And then we're going to use the exhale, release all the way back up, and then you're going to uncross, and we'll just tap out the legs. All right, sit up tall, and then we're going to switch to the other side. So you're just going to reach down and lift your foot up, and we're going to take it out and in a few times. And each side is different, right? So just be aware of that when you're moving into this position, the figure 4 stretch. is a pretty good stretch for most people, but sometimes it's just not available. So again, if it's not available for you to get your ankle up there or even go into this position, you can just go right into a hamstring stretch or anything else that you would like to do. All right, and then once you're there, sit up tall, we're gonna circle. Right, by circling, we're feeling any tension that you might be experiencing around your sit bone. And then circle the other way. And then coming back to center, I'm gonna take an in-breath, and then we're gonna move forward slow with control, just feel what's happening, right? So as soon as you meet sensation, just pause there, stay for a breath or two. If your body invites you to go further, then you go in, but if it says no, stop, then that's where you're gonna stay. So really listening to the signals that your body is sending. So any sharp pains, right, we're out of there for sure. Because that means we just like, we don't want to irritate nerves. I'm going to keep them nice and happy in there. And then relaxing with the breath, nice slow inhalations and exhalations. And just let your body do its job to release tension. Okay, last breath. And then exhaling, sitting up all the way, and then uncross, and we can tap out those legs. Okay, so now we're gonna do that full eagle pose, sitting, right? Sometimes we do this in yoga standing up, but it becomes more of a balancing posture too. But when you're sitting, you can really focus on the little nuances of the pose and not get all distracted by the fact that you're balancing in it. So we'll start with the legs, then we'll do the arms, right? So we'll start with the right leg. We're gonna cross that over. So you're just gonna cross it over, just like a lot of times people sit like this all the time, right? So you can just stay just like this. If you want to deepen it, if it's available to you, you could also wrap your foot around the shin, right? Everyone might not be able to do this because it might be like too challenging for the knee or for the hip or for whatever other reason. So don't worry about it. You can just leave that leg dangling there. And then we're going to take the arms out, and then you're going to bend your elbows, and then you're going to bring them together. And then we'll pick the left elbow up and set it on top. So we're doing the opposite side. And again, you're going to hold the shoulders, hug your thumbs, or bring the palms together. So we're going to start here, and you can go wherever you want with this. You can stay here. If it doesn't feel good to have your leg crossed, you can just keep that uncrossed, right? So we just go back to what we did at the beginning of class. But this time we're just going to come forward and just round your spine. And you're just trying to get the knee, and I'm sorry, not the knee, the thigh and the elbows to touch, right? And if it doesn't happen, that's fine, right? So just that's the goal, but it doesn't have to get there. And just focusing on breathing diaphragmatically, right? So you're getting a little bit of compression in the belly just by doing this. Hugging the elbows in, opening up the upper back and shoulders. And just sending the breath in all those places where it could be really tight. So focusing on widening with the inhale, widening the shoulder girdle, including the upper back, the shoulder blades, even all the way up into the tops of the shoulders and neck, really breathing into those spaces, breathing into your hips. Okay, we're taking one more in breath. And then you're going to fully release the exhale first. And then on your next in breath, we're going to come up, we're going to uncross, you're going to take your legs wide, arms are going to go out here, and then we're going to shake it out and tap it out. Okay, and then we're going to pause before we go to the other side. Close your eyes for a moment, checking in, feeling any sensations, right? Blood flow, particularly flowing back into the hands, and then this time all the way down to your toes. Okay, open your eyes, other side. So crossing over, left leg, sitting up tall. And you can, again, if you want to do the fancy, bring your leg behind there, if that's available, you can do that, but that's not necessary. It's not even like if you want to have your leg uncrossed, that's fine too, whatever works. Arms reaching out, elbows bending, and together. This time, right elbow comes on top, opposite shoulders, thumbs, or palms. Sit up tall, breathe in, and then start coming forward on your exhalation, right? Rounding, breathing, and then try to get the elbows or forearms to the thigh, but not necessary if it doesn't work. You can also put the pillow there if that feels better for you to have some place to land. So just taking whatever props that feel good. And just allow yourself to really breathe into these tighter places, finding space. Relaxing the face, relaxing your jaw. Good, last 2 breaths here. And then you're using your exhale, coming up slow. And then you're gonna unwind, take a big breath in, legs apart, arms apart, and then you're gonna shake everything out. Legs and arms. Rest your hands on your thighs. Just feel and notice the effects. So this particular pose especially has an after effect, right? And that's what we don't want to miss. We want to feel it, we want to be there, we want to be present for it, right? Just feeling that blood flowing back into your extremities. So every pose has an after effect, an energetic after effect, but some poses, especially when you come out of them, you can really feel that shift. So we just want to relish in it, right? Feel it, enjoy it. Okay, open your eyes. Now let's slide back into the chair, right? And we'll take the legs a little bit wider, and we're gonna come into a seated forward fold, which if you were doing this in a floor yoga class, this would be happy baby pose. In happy baby pose, we just bring the knees into the chest and reach up and you hold on to your inner shins, ankles, or inner feet. So we're gonna do that same thing here, similar to what we did before, except our legs are gonna be further apart. So you're gonna slide your hands down your inner thighs. And then just stay heavy in your seat. You can hold on to the inner shins, inner ankles, or you can even reach down and just kind of hold on to the bottom of your foot. You can keep your head up a little higher, or you can let your head drop down towards the ground. And we're using the pressure between the arms and the inner legs. So I want you to push your arms into your legs and your legs into your arms here. And then again, we're staying really heavy on the sit bones and the tailbone. And this gets a little bit of pressure into your belly. So breathe into it. Breathe out. Releasing tension. Okay, last breath. And we're going to slowly roll up. So slide your fingers up your legs, chin to chest. Take your time to come up. Don't let your head lift until you're all the way up. And then slowly bring the head up and then bring those legs together. Right. Take your pillow. All right, and then we're going to use it one more time. We're going to bring it behind the low back this time. So maybe standing up a little bit, position it behind the low back. And we're going to just do a couple of cats and cows. And our little focus is getting that low back to push into the pillow. So as we're rounding, you're tucking your tailbone, get that low back to push into the pillow and then pull away from the pillow. So focus here, so we focus a lot here on this upper chest and upper back. Now we're gonna go down and just give it our lower back a little bit of love here. So let's do that a couple more times. Rounding and pulling away from the pillow. So you don't even have to move this upper part of your spine if you don't want to. You can just focus on the lower spine. So a couple more of those. And I just love this one. It feels so good. I love having that pillow back there, just pushing into it. Really gives you a lot of good feedback here, especially if you're, you're not have the body awareness, like it's hard, it's behind you. You can't see it. So it's good to have that, like that proprioception, that feedback that you can feel what's happening in your lower spine. Let's do two more. And one more. All right, sit up tall. You can take the pillow out and you can set it off to the side. If you would like to use it for Shavasana, please feel free to use it for whatever you want. We're going to slide back into the chair. We're going to lift the legs off the floor. We're going to circle the ankles, go about 4 to 5 times each direction. And then you're going to shake it out. And then let the legs just drop onto the ground. And then we're going to reach the arms up. We're going to make a fist and we're going to rotate the wrists. Go both ways. And then we're going to shake out the arms. We did a lot of work with the arms today. So just give them an extra little bit of extra shaking. And then let's rest the hands. So you can choose to put your hands on your thighs, on your belly, or one of your heart, one of your belly, whatever you're comfortable with. Close the eyes, take a deep breath in through your nose. And let's exhale this one just sigh it out through your mouth. And then close your mouth. Place the tongue on the roof of your mouth. And let's breathe in and out of the nose. Gentle, slow, relaxing breaths. And just giving your body a chance to receive all those good benefits from your practice today. So ideally, you want to spend anywhere between 2 and 5 minutes. You could do longer if you have time. But closing the eyes, relaxing, just letting go of any thinking, any movement, just be really still, almost like you were sleeping. And gently bring your awareness back into your body. And we'll just start slowly awakening. You can wiggle your fingers, your toes. And then we'll deepen the breath and take a nice big stretch here. Nice full inhale. And then on your exhalation, release the arms down and go ahead and sit up nice and tall. Relax the shoulders. And we're going to bring that intention back in, the one that you said at the beginning of class. So we're going to reach those arms out, gathering it up, joining your palms together, thumb knuckles to the heart space, and chin to chest. Take a moment to thank yourself for being here. Inhale, thumb knuckles to third eye point. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.